I'm telling you, this is an amazing brown. It is such a good brown. It's just so soft. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're new, welcome. This channel is all about tutorials, product reviews, beauty. So today I'm showing you how to create a fresh and summery makeup look. Now there's something different about today's tutorial because this is for all those girls out there like me who have dark circles, pigmentation issues, uneven skin tone, maybe some sunspots, and you don't always kind of embrace those flaws. Sometimes you just want to cover it up, and there's nothing wrong with that. So today I'm going to show you how you can achieve that really nice fresh and summery look where your skin still looks like skin, and you get that really nice dewy finish where your makeup stays all day, especially in this summer heat. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell button because it really helps me with the algorithm, but it also shows me that you guys want to see more. And you can also catch me on Instagram where you can watch my stories for PR unboxing and daily beauty news. Let's get straight into the video. So let's get started with skincare. I'm going to go with my eye cream first. I'm using the NYX Buckwheat eye cream. It's great for kind of like depuffing the eye area. It's also great for dark circles, and it kind of revives the whole skin around the eyes basically. And I'm just pressing this in around the bone of my eye, and what I love about this cream is it just kind of sinks in and you actually feel like you've put something on, because there are some eye creams out there which you feel like, where has it gone? So next I'm going to use my moisturizer. I'm using the Fenty Skin Hydro Visor Invisible Moisturizer. This is SPF 30, so I love the fact that I'm getting that SPF and that protection in there as well. And I'm just going to put 2 whole pumps of this because I really want that protection all over. This moisturizer it just smells so good. And it is so hydrating. Now we're going to move on to primer. I'm using the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, and if you guys have watched my previous videos, you know how much I love the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. So I'm just applying this all over my face, avoiding the eye area, and this leaves a really nice tacky finish to the skin. So it really does help the makeup to kind of like, it just grips hold of the makeup. So apart from the fact that I like using primers for obvious issues like visible pores or just kind of brightening dull skin or smoothing the skin, my main reason for using a primer is because it creates a barrier between my moisturizer and my makeup. I just don't feel comfortable applying makeup, directly on top of moisturizer. I feel like it's way too close to my skin, if that makes sense. I want there to be something else there to kind of let my skincare work underneath. Yeah, that's another reason I use primer. Now I'm going to move on to something which it's basically an illuminator. So it's not a primer, it's the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, and I'm using the shade Dark Tan because I feel like this shade is perfect for me, although I do alternate between a few other shades. This is a 30ml glass bottle, so you've really got to be careful that you don't throw this around. You'll see what this does. I'm basically just going to like dot this around my face. This is going to like create some major dewy vibes on my skin right now, so I feel like literally every flaw will be visible, but we're going to go over it with foundation. So it's basically what it does is it kind of helps to give that kind of lit from within look, which is great for me because I don't want that obvious really dewy look, because it just enhances all my flaws, as I said. So I'm going to just kind of buff this into the skin. I'm going to use a brush for this. So I'm just kind of smoothing this out onto my skin. Like, a lot of people use this on its own. If you have great skin, then you can easily use this on its own. And I think there's around 7 or 8 like shades in this. So you've got a shade that will help to like enhance your skin tone. This one's quite tanned because I like that tanned look. Plus, we're going for that summery, fresh look. And if you've got darker skin like me, I know, I'm not really that dark, but I wish I was. My face is a lot darker now. But I feel like I want that kind of, when you're slightly darker, then I feel like it looks really nice having that really bronzed look. So I'm gonna stick with this dark shade. Now I'm gonna go on top with my concealer, and I'm using the Hourglass concealer. I'm using the Vanish concealer. The shade that I'm using is Beach. I'm just gonna kind of apply this over my lids first so we can set that area. You know, this is the first time I'm using the Vanish concealer. So now I'm going to set the eye area with my Makeup Forever loose setting powder, and I'm using a powder puff to just press this in. I'm using Light Banana. There are so many shades in this range for this loose powder, and the reason I love this is because it's actually great for this type of summery fresh look, because the powder is so ultra fine. You literally can't even, like, you won't see any kind of cakey finish, so it's perfect if you want that kind of light to medium finish. I'm going to use my foundation. I'm using the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Finish Liquid Foundation, and I'm using it in Golden Natural. This foundation is amazing for coverage, but we're going to use a very small amount because we don't want to kind of over pack it onto the skin. So I'm just going to use a brush to buff this in. And by the way, this brush that I'm using is something I am obsessed with at the moment. It's the Rare Beauty foundation brush. It's so good. So I'm just buffing this in. I've got some on the back of my hand, and I'm going to very lightly buff this in. Now this foundation gives you amazing coverage, but we want a very thin layer on the skin. And don't forget, we've got that really nice kind of illuminating liquid underneath as well. So that will help to kind of give it that nice glow. So we've applied a really thin layer of this foundation. I've still got a whole load on the back of my hand, and that was one pump, so I haven't even used a lot. Now I know I'm looking really tanned right now, so we're gonna brighten this up because that concealer I used is a little bit lighter than my usual concealer. So we're gonna use that to brighten up certain areas so that this darkness, this tanned kind of look only appears to be in the areas which we want kind of sculpted slightly. So it's kind of reverse, kind of like reverse contouring. We are now going to go in with the concealer. So I'm going to apply this onto the under eyes. Now I really want to brighten up this area here because that's where I'm usually pretty dark. So we're going to brighten up that area and here, and we're just going to add a little lift here. Now, rather than blending this with a sponge, I'm going to use the Hourglass brush. I don't actually know which brush this is, but I will make sure I list it above and check it out because the Hourglass brushes are amazing. So I don't know if you've seen my previous videos, but I always recommend, if you want great coverage, and I mean, this concealer is amazing anyway, so it's going to give you amazing coverage. But if you want to kind of, sometimes what happens basically, let me start again. What happens is, with a lot of people, they find that when you apply your concealer, they start blending straight away, and basically, if they're using a sponge, the sponge absorbs most of the product. And I still love using sponges, but what I tend to do is let the concealer dry just a little bit, because then you'll find that the concealer stays in that area. Because some people find that when they start buffing it, whether it's with a sponge or a brush, that the concealer kind of moves, it spreads out so much that it's kind of not staying within the area that you want it to stay. So this is a little trick for you, which I think I've mentioned in previous videos, but in case you're new, there you go. You've got a nice little tip there for you. So you want to let it dry a little bit. So semi-dry, and then you can start buffing it in. Okay, so we're gonna start buffing this in. Now I wanna keep the product along the under eye area. I don't really want it spreading onto the cheek area. I'm just taking it up this area here because I want that lifted look. So you can already see that coverage is really good, and it's not over the top. We've got just the right amount. So I'm just going to do this part here. Now I just want to lighten a few other areas. So I just want to almost like highlighting these areas. So I'm just going to go down the nose just with a little concealer. I just like to brighten these areas because then I feel like I've got that kind of good balance of tanned and brightness. So I'm just going to buff this in here, just using the foundation brush for this area. So I'm going to move on to my next product. Now I'm going to start kind of sculpting my face. I'm using the Huda Beauty Tantour in Light. This is like a contour and bronzer cream, and I really do love these because I feel like there's so many different shades, but this specific shade, I never thought this would be the right color for me because it says it's called Light, but it actually is the perfect color for me. So I'm going to use this to just kind of buff into my cheekbones and just sculpt a few other areas, just because I feel like I need that added contour there. I'm just going to apply a little bit along here and here and here and here. So I think that's all I'm going to, no, I'm going to apply a little bit more actually. I'm going to apply a little bit to my nose. So I like to make the tip of my nose look smaller. And we're just going to apply a small amount along the bridge. This is actually a Huda eye brush, but I quite like it for like smaller areas of the face because I feel like it's quite a good brush for the face. It's just, it all depends on the size of the brush really and the bristles, so I feel like this works really well. So I'm just going to blend this in a little bit here. I'm just taking off the excess on a tissue, by the way, so each time I'm taking the brush away, I'm just wiping off the excess because I don't really want that excess product. So we're blending this into the hairline. This area here always goes into the hairline. Now I'm just going to go over with my foundation brush, whatever's left on this brush, and I'm just buffing this in so that there are no harsh edges. Now I'm going to move on to a product that I've been really looking forward to trying. It's the Stila Putty Blush and Bronzer Duo. This is Bronzed Gladiola, I think that's how you say it. I'm using the coral shade. It is such a nice color. I absolutely love coral blush. So I'm going to use the back of a sponge for this. So I'm just using a beauty blender. I'm going to just press it into, it genuinely is like a putty finish. It's kind of very bouncy. So I'm just going to press this along my cheek area here to give me some really nice color. This is such a nice blush. This whole layering technique is amazing for this kind of like summery fresh look. Like you can see how my skin has still got that glow. I mean, I've still got to apply some powder in certain areas because I don't want this glow all over, but we've got it we've got it all over so we can set the right areas for a matte look. So you can see this blush is so good. I'm gonna be honest guys, I never used to like blush. I very rarely used to wear blush. I'm going to take it up here because I always feel like this gives a more useful finish. Now I'm going to apply some highlight. I'm going to use a brand new product. I'm using the Huda Beauty Nymph Glaze in Aphrodite. I absolutely love this. It just literally melts into the skin. I've only swatched them so far, but I'm going to apply this with a brush just on some areas of the face, just for that added kind of glow. So I think I'm done with this, because I don't want too much glow, because I feel like I'm kind of glowing all over at the moment and I need to tone it down just a little bit on certain areas. So now I'm going to move on to my setting powder. I'm using the Makeup Forever Ultra HD setting powder again in Light Banana, and I'm only going to apply this to certain areas. All I'm doing is just pressing this on my under eye area because I don't want kind of any creasing there. And I'm going to continue to kind of just press this in. And then very quickly, I'm just going to dust that away. Okay, now I'm going to just use a brush for everywhere else. And I'm just using my Real Technique setting brush. I'm literally just going to press this in to certain areas very lightly. So I don't want shiny brow area. I'm going to get rid of the shine on my chin, also along this area here. Now, something I always tell my clients is, and sometimes something that you guys need to also kind of bear in mind, is when you set your makeup, especially if you're setting it like this, initially it may look pretty matte, but after a little while it's gonna look dewy because you've got to wait around like 20 minutes to half an hour maybe, because what happens is your natural oils from your skin start coming out at the moment everything's mattified. So give it about half an hour, and once your natural oils from your skin start coming out, that's when your skin is going to start looking dewy. So you'll get that perfect finish after around half an hour. So we've still got the rest of the face to do, so you're going to see that come out near the end of the tutorial. Now it's time for brows. I'm using the Huda Beauty Bomb Brows in medium brown. This is one of my favorite brow pencils because the tip is super fine and it doesn't break easily, and it gives you that really nice natural hair stroke to the brow. So I'm literally just drawing in hair strokes, and you'll see slowly my brows are going to start looking thicker and just a bit more fluffy. Okay, so small hair strokes. Okay, so that brow's done. We're going to move over to the next brow. I'm going to finish off my brows with the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Brows Brow Tint in Taupe. Slightly lighter because I don't like really dark brows. So I've applied that through my brows just to keep the hair in place. Now we're going to move on to the eyes, and I'm going to go with the Dual Backstage Eye Palette in Amber Neutrals because I just love this palette and I haven't used it yet, and I really want to see what I can create with this. I'm going to use the Shimmer Orange and just apply that all over my lid because I feel like with my skin colour, a peachy look always looks better than a pinky look. I decided to use my finger because I feel like I'm getting more pigment this way. Plus, this is like a really easy look. I don't want to make it too complicated with brushes, and you can just use your finger. And because this color is so natural, you don't have to worry so much about where it's going. As long as it's going on the eyelid. I love this, it's like an orange soda color. I love it. Okay, now I'm gonna use the sculpting powder, ombre sculpting powder. That looks like a really nice brown. So we're just gonna buff that into the lash line just a little bit, just so that we've got some definition. I'm literally just using a really small brush, just a really small brush. I don't know what this is. This is the Huda Beauty Smoke and Smudge brush, and the smaller part of this brush is really good for just buffing into the lash line. I don't want any kind of like harsh look to this eye look, so I want to keep it quite natural. And this brown is perfect because it's not too dark. Just gonna drag it out a little bit. I don't want an obvious wing. Oh, I am really loving this brown. It's really difficult to find the right brown when you're my skin tone because some browns can look really muddy, some browns just look black, and some browns just look grey. So I feel like there should be a palette which says which skin tones these brown shades suit. Now I was thinking no lashes for this look, but you know what? I'm gonna apply lashes because that is what I would do, even if it is a summery fresh look. So I think I'm gonna put some lashes on. Okay, I feel like I've got really nice definition there and it's super soft as well. So all I've done is just literally buff this into the lash line. I'm telling you, this is an amazing brown. It is such a good brown. It's just so soft, yet it still gives you definition. Just a question, whose makeup do you really like celebrity? I really like Priyanka Chopra's makeup. I think that she's kind of nailed that kind of natural look, but you can still see there's makeup there, but you can still see her features, her skin, and I think she's really got that down so well. So let me know who yours is. And why is there so much? I've noticed like there is a lot of love-hate with Priyanka Chopra. I don't know why. I actually quite like her. I've seen loads of like videos on TikTok of people like taking the mick. I don't think that's very nice. Plus I think she's actually really good. I think she's done really well. I'm really happy with that kind of brown. I think that's a really good brown, so I would highly recommend that. Now I'm gonna just buff in some of that orange into my lower lash line. Now it's such a light color, you might not even see it through the camera, but it's a very natural orange. Okay, so I think we're gonna move on to lashes now. I'm gonna use the Byredo Tears in Rain mascara. First time I'm using this, so you're gonna see my honest opinion on it as soon as I've applied it. Apparently this mascara is tear-proof, shower-proof, sweat-proof, smudge-proof. It feels like I'm gonna have to look up how to actually take this off, if it's everything proof. But yeah, apparently this stays put and it gives you really good definition from the root. So let's see what this is about. I really do like the small brush because I feel like I can also use it on my lower lashes. And the fact that it is a smaller brush means that it's just mess free. Like already it's coated my lashes really well. Okay, that's really good. It's great definition. It's such a small brush, you wouldn't think it's gonna actually give you much volume, but it does right from the root. And it's not, I don't like it when mascaras give you that horrible clumpy look at the end of the lashes. This one, it just kind of like, the ends of your lashes still look super fine, like the tips of your lashes. You know, sometimes it kind of like clumps up at the end and it doesn't actually look, they no longer look like lashes. This is a really nice mascara, guys, really nice. Okay, let's go over to the other eye. Let's apply a little bit on the lower lashes. Okay, I don't think I'm going to apply lashes. I was planning to wear lashes, but I'm quite liking this look like this. So yeah, no lashes. So I'm using the Dual Lip Glow Color Reviver Balm in 015, and this is a really nice kind of natural pink. It's just like a lip pink, really. So that's one of my favourite lip balms. I feel like it just is fuss free, and you have so many different shades in that if you want a slight tint. So next I'm going to move on to my lip liner. I'm using the Kat Von D Everlasting Lip Liner in Bow and Arrow, one of my favourite colours because it's just this really nice kind of brown shade, which isn't overly brown. So I'm just going to blot my lips so I can get rid of the excess lip balm, and I'm just going to start kind of lining my lips. And the good thing about this lip liner, I use the other shades on clients, is that it stays put. There you go. It's such a nice natural colour, isn't it? I don't know what, see, as a makeup artist, obviously I work on different skin tones, and I feel like the Bow and Arrow colour seems to match more or less every skin tone. So it's the one lip liner shade which I feel is universal, which is really difficult to find. So this is a shade I would highly recommend. Like, no matter what skin tone you are, I feel like this is going to look good. If you're very dark skin toned, then it may look a little bit light. Anything lighter, I feel like this is going to kind of go. When I lined my lips, I'm basically feathering in just a little bit, because I feel like my lip line kind of like stays all day then. I'm going to finish off my lips with the Kat Von D lip gloss in Camellia and Petuna. So one is slightly lighter, this one is Camellia, and I'm just going to apply this all over. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the Petuna just to give it a bit more colour. So you can see this has got a little bit more pink in there. I'm just going to blend this in. And that's how I create my fresh summery makeup look. So what did you think of that tutorial? If you have any questions about my technique or the products that I use, then just drop a comment below and I'll always reply. Now, if you want to purchase any of the products that I used, they're all listed in my description box below, so all you need to do is just click on the link. Now, as always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button so that you never miss a video. Until the next video, take care and I'll see you soon.